You know, you got to admit, between desktop computers and, well, mobile devices, we spend a lot of time on the internet. As a matter of fact, a recent survey found 47% of internet traffic is channeled through apps. As of right now, there are about 1.5 million apps available to smartphone users. The biggest money-making app on the market right now is a game called Clash of Clans. It's estimated that this free app generates $1.5 million a day.
We're in the wrong business, aren't we?
No kidding.
Well, for someone considering a future in computers, creating apps may be the way to go. And one local high school student has already done that. And get this, he's only 16.
16-year-old Benyam Ephraim is a typical high school sophomore. Like most kids his age, he spends a lot of time on his smartphone. But what he's doing is not typical.
6 months ago, I had the idea for an app, and I was like, how can I make this a reality? And I figured out what coding was.
That's right. Benyam taught himself computer coding, basically how to write programs by creating algorithms to tell your computer what to do.
Pretty much you have proverbial objects that can perform tasks. And as a coder, your job is to put the puzzle pieces together to get those objects to perform a task with the least effort.
And that's what Benyam had to do to create his app.
You control everything when you're actually coding, and you have to think of everything that could go wrong and everything that could go right, because one little line could ruin a whole program. I've almost quit 20 times. It's so difficult sometimes, but you just keep sticking through it. This is called tilt the gaps. So the way it works, you just hold your screen flat and you tilt the ball through the oncoming gaps.
And he did. What Benyam created was a game called Tilt the Gaps. It's a pretty simple concept. You tilt your smartphone to get a ball to roll through gaps in virtual walls. For each wall you make it through, you get a point.
It's very easy to deploy apps on the Android platform. You have it's called the Google Play Developer Console, and from the console I can monitor statistics, monitor how the app's doing internationally. It's really cool to see it deploy in different countries. I have users in France. It's not that many users, but it's cool to see there in France, Romania, Russia. It's cool.
Now that this 16-year-old is a bona fide app developer, he's already working on his second creation.
I'm siding with calling it Frame Shift. And it's a cool app where you just tap a green line and it switches over. It gets difficult the higher your score gets.
With this kind of success at computer coding so early in life, you would think Benyam's future is set. But Benyam, he's not so sure.
I don't know. I'm good at it, but I don't know if I'd pursue it in college. I'm really interested in psychology stuff, sociology.
But no matter what path he ends up taking, Benyam says his knowledge of computer coding will benefit him.
It's made me a really good problem solver. You can spend hours working on a really small bug, because Android has so many different screen sizes and screen densities to support. You could be chasing down a bug for hours and then just find it way later. So it teaches you perseverance a lot.
And Benyam says when he's not working on his apps, he's usually on a website helping other computer users with writing code. He says they probably have absolutely no idea that he's only 16 years old. And I don't know if it's because we're older, but all of that, it's just fascinating to me that they can just figure it out so fast. You okay?
16.
16, yeah.
And he's not choosing this necessarily for
Not necessarily,
a career. This
no.
is for a hobby. He writes computer. They're way smarter than us.
Yeah,
We
I
can't
think
do
so.
Well, today we have two young men in the Delmarva Life kitchen with us, helping us make a fresh and healthy dish, a mulberry salad topped with a fresh beet vinaigrette. Plus, we're going to learn to make a berry delicious cocktail. Get it? Huh? Delmarva Life. We'll be right back.